Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barakahak Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'm going to start it off in Isaiah chapter 29. I'm going to read verses 18 to 21. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. And we're living in these times right now when the spiritual eyes and ears of the elect of the nation of Israel, the nation of Israel consisting of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners who've come to look like these heathen nations after being scattered to different parts of the earth due to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, are being opened to the words of the book, the scriptures being preached by the men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High, his mouthpiece, out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this online, telling the nation of Israel who they are, that their kingdom is at hand, who their enemies are, these different nations, the heathens, and who the wicked is, according to the scriptures, the biblical Edomites, who are known as these so-called white people today. The meek also shall increase their joy in Yahweh, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. Because they've been told that, this current situation we're in, where we're seen as the lowest of the low in society, proverbs and bywords to these different nations is not forever, that it has an end date, and that end date is very soon, and soon we'll be ruling in the kingdom of heaven for eternity at the head of the nations, with these nations underneath us. Verse 20, for the terrible one is brought to naught, Esau Edom finally being taken out of power, which spiritually he's being taken down right now with the prophets denouncing him and preaching the words of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi, manifesting Esau Edom's, revealing to be the wicked, the man of sin, the son of perdition, and, manifesting the downfall of his rulership. And the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. These Edomites, the wicked of our people, and all these other demons that have come against us being judged horrifically during Jacob's trouble. Verse 21, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. And this is the main point I wanted to get to, where it says that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. This devil's about to come down in great wrath, as it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These elites know what it's hitting for. They know that when Israel wakes up and calls on their power, and that the prophets are out, that whatever nation that's ruling at the time is going to be taken out of power. And they know that they're the biblical Edomites, and their fate, once their nation is taken out of power, 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery before their entire nation is permanently culled from this planet. Obadiah 1 verse 18. So this devil, these elites such as the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, are about to pull out all the stops to persecute the men of the Lord and those that believe, and damn sure get us off the highways and byways from preaching this word, as well as putting up these video epistles online. And that brings me to the article I'll be going into in this lesson on RT.com, titled Pentagon Wants Better AI, Artificial Tools to Enhance Its Online Fakes, report says. The DoD's Special Operations Command is seeking advanced technology to deploy falsified human behavior, according to The Intercept. So, Akim, this devil is going to come with AI-generated images and videos and deep fakes to help in that persecution for us, to lay that snare for us, have brothers doing and saying things they didn't do or say. And what? So they can make us an offender for the word, so that they can justify rolling on us, labeling us as black identity extremists, which, for the 144,000th time, ain't nobody who's an Israelite black, domestic teists, anything they can think of to just fully demonize us, to justify themselves in the face of society, to look at us as the enemy and throw us in jail, do whatever they want to us, and scrub these videos offline for being labeled as hate speech and inciting violence. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, these Edomites, should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and we're not ignorant of this devil's devices. The spirit of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai is dealing with us, so we're able to see through, these narratives and agendas he's coming with. Because what's he going to say? Oh, this is the, combat right-wing extremism, domestic teists, Al-Qaeda, anything like that, to save the children, when really all these agendas are aimed at the men of the Lord, at the prophets, especially GMS or Great Millstone, who's bringing out this word in 144% truth. But now I brought this out in a couple of lessons I've done before on a similar topic. When you go to your YouTube studio, to the edit page, this is one of the new sections they just added within the last year. Altered content. Do any of the following describe your content? Makes a real person appear to say or do something they didn't say or do. Alters footage of a real event or place. Generates a realistic looking, AI generated scene that didn't actually occur. Now, why would they start adding this to YouTube videos if, there wasn't going to be an issue coming up where deep fakes and AI generated images would become a problem to where we can't tell what's the truth or what's not the truth? Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That devil is definitely getting ready to lay that snare to make a man an offender for a word. And these are actual documents, from the DOD and the Pentagon, talking about how they're using this technology to create falsified events and, generated images and videos. The Pentagon's Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, wants better tools that can fabricate a living person's online footprint using advanced generative technologies. The Intercept reported on Thursday, citing a procurement document. Salakia. Just gonna put a battery pack in right now. The unclassified wish list for acquisitions expresses interest in producing fake imagery, including that of humans with different facial expressions, virtual environments, and selfie videos that can withstand scrutiny by social media algorithms and real humans. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. When they come with this type of demonization, Akim, they want it to be to where even those that know what to look for and have technologies to look for deep fakes won't be able to differentiate whether it's real or not. The solution should also provide audio layers specific for locations of simulated footages, your face, your voice, your mannerisms, everything about you, indistinguishable. The Pentagon's use of fake online personas or sock puppets dates back at least over a decade. Such digital constructs are used to spread American propaganda, shape or falsify public opinion, make a man an offender for a word, and to collect intelligence, according to media reports. Jump around a little bit. In 2022, the Pentagon ordered a review of its psychological warfare operations after social media giants Facebook and Twitter, now X, reported detecting and banning dozens of bots operated by U.S. Central Command. So we can't have that. Now listen to this. The purported methods resemble what the New York Times described in June when it exposed a 1948er influence operation targeting American citizens. The campaign, sponsored by the 1948ers Ministry of Diaspora Affairs, used AI-generated content to boost narratives favorable to the close U.S. ally, the report claimed. So these Amalekites, these 1948ers, heavily used this this technology and equipment to put themselves in a good light, when really, look at what's been going on over in the Gaza Strip, what they've been doing to those Palestinians, and just, what they do in general. Those Rothschilds are 1948ers. They're trying to do damage control to put them in a good light. And what would that involve? Demonizing this word, because what? We're saying we're the true children of the Most High, and they're, saying the same thing. But when we go to biblical prophecy, things don't line up with them. So they're about to pull out all the stops to just completely discredit everything we say. And, another thing, the elder brother of our camp, Yakana, and me were talking about once, hey, Akim, a lot of these comments you may see coming on your videos of scoffers and stuff like that could just be AI generated bots to what? Get on your nerves and to sway the opinions of those that watch your videos to not take heed to your message. So we're in an all out, info war, as AJ would say. So we got to be really circumspect out here, with the way this devil is moving, especially now that we're getting into the end game and he's about to come down in great wrath. But that's it with this article. Now I'm going to go to Psalms chapter 64. I'm going to start at verse 1. And the header reads, Prayer for deliverance from secret enemies. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And the Pentagon, Central Command, and all these different other agencies are what? Secret intelligence agencies that do all their things in the dark, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, creating this false AI deep fake narrative out here to demonize us and say that we're the problem with society, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares, those traps, privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart or mind is deep. And hey, that's a very deep and diabolical thing, to create technology to take somebody's face and voice and image and create a completely fake scenario with them in them, just so you can put it on the mainstream and be justified in coming against them. That's why we call you the devil or deceiver. Hey, but there's a silver lining to it. Verse 7, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And you're going to lay those snares privily for the men of the Lord, but you're going to fall into your own traps. Hey, what does it say? I believe it's in the book of Acts. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. By you coming with this demonization, which is ultimately going to what? Bring about the fame of the word. You're just fulfilling prophecy. And then what? Hey, the Most High, when you come against us, hey, that's going to be when he fully comes against you. So you devils are caught in a trick bag. If you don't do anything, you're going to get further exposed. But when you do something, That's when the Most High is going to drop that hammer on you, and ultimately those arrows, those nuclear missiles being shot to the ends of the earth and everywhere you Edomites dwell during World War III. Verse 8, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And we're seeing that with articles like from RT.com. The Russians are Edomites, and they're exposing their own Edomite brothers in America for these different agendas they're coming with. And then they got that information from a Edomite-owned website called The Intercept. And then on top of that, you've got a lot of these other whistleblowers and alternative media people all over the internet, on YouTube, X, you name it, exposing, the agendas of the powers that be. All that see them shall flee away. Everybody's starting to turn against that Western, mindset. They're seeing that America and a lot of the things they push is really destroying society. Hence why you've got, organizations like the BRICS coming into place. So you devils got nowhere to run to and nowhere to hide. And hey, Yahweh Ratazah, Yahweh Shai Ratazah, you make your move as quickly as possible so that the Most High can make his move as quickly as possible and save his elect and drop that hammer dead on your red head. But now I'm going to close it out in Amos chapter 8, verses 11 to 13, because this is ultimately what all these different agendas are going to lead to, the famine of the word. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, though those things are coming as well as great judgment, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, where the men of the Lord are no longer going to be on the highways and byways preaching this word, and video epistles like this are no longer going to be online. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. So to the wicked of our people, especially 2/3 in America, when this famine of the word hits, the Most High is going to put it on your spirit to remember the words that you heard the prophets preaching, whether you came across our videos or came across us on the block, and you scoffed at it and casted that word behind your back. And you're going to be looking for answers, but the only answer you're going to find is death by pain, as it says in 2nd Esdras chapter 9. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, that spiritual thirst, because these rivers of living waters of the scriptures and the understanding of them will no longer be flowing freely. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. As we can clearly see, we are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shabbat Shalom.